I remind you all that the makers of this nation were actually dominated by young people who worked closely with a few elder statesmen. Many do not know that the Independence Cabinet and the new administration was also dominated by young people. Many also do not realize that the first draft of sessional paper number 10 of 1965, which became the blueprint vision of our economy, was written by a 29-year-old technocrat known as Japheth Shamala. These young men were not extraordinary. They became our independence heroes because they made more opportunities out of the little they had been given. Instead of focusing on the hardships of building a new nation from ground up, they focused on the possibilities. The Independence War had taught them that energy flows where attention goes. They had learned from the struggle that what you focus on grows, and the words you utter become flesh. Our young liberators became heroes because they focused on what could be done and not the obstacles that stood in their way. Their attention was on the positive, and the words they uttered about their country were full of optimism. This attitude of positive energy made most of them heroes because they dared to do the impossible. And here is a lesson to our young people today. As I said in my Madaraka Day address, our nation, Kenya, is still a work in progress. It has its good and its bad. It has its ugly, but it also has its sweet. If our attention as a people and a nation always reverts to the bad and the ugly, all energy will flow to the negative, and we will just become a nation of angry, disillusioned people. But the young people who embrace the positive and the possible will emerge heroes and makers of things. So therefore, a good starting point for all our young people is to look for a problem and solve it. And if you solve a problem, heroism and success will naturally follow you. And I have 3 recent examples to illustrate this here in Kenya. The first one, last week on Friday, I invited my cabinet and indeed the entire nation as I unveiled a series of transformative programs and projects undertaken by our young people. The team of over 800 young men and women, drawn from across the Republic, have undertaken seminal programs that include the nationwide airborne geophysical survey, the geospatial project, the cyber project, developed drones, as well as a national security industrial project. These young innovators not only delivered high-quality work, they also did so at a fraction of the said cost. For example, ladies and gentlemen, in respect to the mapping of our national resources under the National Airborne Geophysical Survey, a private firm had quoted to do this at a cost of Kenya shillings 30 billion. But our team of young professionals have programmed to do the job at a cost of Kenya shillings 4 billion. Currently, this project is almost 70% complete, and we look forward next year to launching it. With the completion of this seminal project, the comprehensive geology of our country is now known, and that information will be used to chart a path to prosperity and self-sufficiency for host communities and the